The Earth awoke with a vengeance. February 6, 2023, 4:17 a.m. A monstrous tremor, magnitude 7.8, ripped through the heart of Turkey and Syria. Buildings shuddered, swayed, and then surrendered to gravity's brutal embrace. Tens of thousands of souls were extinguished in an instant. A terrifying symphony of destruction echoed across the region. The world watched in horror as the dust settled on a scene of unimaginable devastation. This was not just a natural disaster. It was a human tragedy of epic proportions. The initial quake was just the beginning. A macabre encore awaited. A 7.5 magnitude aftershock, almost as powerful as the first, tore through the region hours later. Rescuers, desperately searching for survivors, were now running for their own lives. The Earth, it seemed, was determined to reclaim what man had built upon it. The death toll climbed with each passing hour. Hope dwindled with every passing moment. Amidst the chaos and despair, stories of resilience and courage began to emerge. Tales of ordinary people performing extraordinary acts of bravery. Tales of strangers risking their lives to save others. Tales that reminded the world that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could shine through. The world held its breath, praying for miracles amidst the ruins. In the aftermath, a chilling truth emerged. Many of the buildings that crumbled were not just old or poorly constructed. They were death traps, signed off on by corrupt officials. Permits were traded for profit. Safety regulations were ignored. The very structures meant to protect people became their tombs. This was not just an earthquake. It was a man-made catastrophe. I had warned for years about the dangers lurking within these amnesty buildings. Structures granted a pass despite blatant violations of building codes. My warnings fell on deaf ears. The allure of quick profits, it seemed, was far more persuasive than the fear of future earthquakes. Now, my predictions had come to pass in the most tragic way imaginable. The scale of the corruption was staggering. An estimated 1.2 million buildings had been granted these dangerous amnesties, a chilling testament to the insidious power of greed and political expediency. The people of Turkey and Syria had been betrayed by the very system that was supposed to protect them. The earthquake had exposed not only the fault lines beneath the earth, but the cracks within society itself. 12-year-old Ali lay trapped beneath the rubble, his small body pinned by a fallen concrete slab. He could hear his sister's cries for help, growing fainter with each passing moment. Then silence. A silence more terrifying than the roar of the earthquake. He was alone. His world, once filled with the laughter of family and friends, had been reduced to a suffocating darkness. Ali's story is not unique. It is a story repeated thousands of times in the aftermath of the earthquake. Stories of children orphaned, families torn apart, and futures shattered. The emotional toll of the disaster is immeasurable. The invisible scars of trauma and loss will linger long after the rubble has been cleared. Yet, even in the face of such unimaginable suffering, there were glimmers of hope. Stories of extraordinary resilience and compassion. Stories that remind us of the enduring strength of the human spirit. Stories like Ali's, who, despite his own trauma, found the courage to share his story, to ensure that the world never forgets the human cost of this tragedy. The Earth's crust, a mosaic of tectonic plates in constant, albeit slow, motion. When these plates collide, the energy released can be unimaginable. The result? Earthquakes. In the case of the Turkey-Syria earthquake, a strike-slip fault, the East Anatolian Fault, was the culprit. The Arabian plate lurched westward, grinding against the Anatolian plate, unleashing a force 10,000 times stronger than a 5.1 magnitude quake. The devastation wasn't just about the quake's strength, it was about how buildings react to such seismic shifts. Many structures in the affected regions, particularly those hastily erected or granted amnesties, weren't built to withstand such forces. The result was a terrifying phenomenon known as pancake collapse, where floors collapse onto one another, leaving little chance of survival. Myths like the doorway myth were debunked in the rubble. Standing in a doorway is not inherently safer. The key to survival lies in understanding the science. Modern building codes, particularly those emphasizing base isolation and ductile detailing, can make a world of difference. The science is clear. We cannot prevent earthquakes, but we can mitigate their impact. The world watched in horror, but also in anger. How could such a tragedy occur? The answer, as the dust settled, became tragically clear: corruption. Hidden camera footage emerged, showing contractors cutting corners, substituting steel bars for thinner ones, and using substandard concrete. These weren't just oversights. They were calculated acts of greed, putting profit over people's lives. The authorities, shamed by the global spotlight, launched investigations. Arrests were made. 8 builders were detained, their faces plastered across news channels, symbols of a system rotten to its core. Yet within 48 hours, 7 were released, a slap on the wrist, a stark reminder justice, like the buildings themselves, can crumble under the weight of power and influence. The fight for accountability is far from over. The families of the victims, their voices amplified by a global chorus of outrage, demand justice. They demand answers. They demand that those responsible for turning their homes into tombs be held accountable. The earthquake may have shattered their world, but it has also ignited a fire for change, a burning desire to ensure that such a tragedy never happens again. As darkness fell on that fateful day, a different kind of tremor shook the ravaged city of Gaziantep, a tremor of hope. Amidst the ruins of a collapsed hospital, a young nurse named Ace found herself thrust into a scene of unimaginable chaos. Pregnant mothers screamed, children cried, and the injured pleaded for help. But the power was out, plunging the hospital into an eerie darkness. Undeterred, I grabbed the only light source I could find, my phone. Using its faint glow and a shoelace for a clamp, I helped a terrified mother deliver a healthy baby girl in a makeshift delivery room, a stairwell strewn with debris. The security footage, later recovered, became a symbol of hope, a testament to the indomitable spirit of human kindness in the face of unimaginable adversity. Asa's story, shared and celebrated around the world, is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there are those who shine brighter. Her actions, driven by an unwavering sense of duty and compassion, embody the very best of humanity. She is a hero, not because of superhuman strength, but because of the extraordinary courage she displayed in the face of overwhelming odds. The initial shock gave way to a grim reality. The task of rebuilding lay ahead, a monumental undertaking both physically and emotionally. International aid poured in, a testament to the shared humanity that transcends borders. Search and rescue teams armed with specialized equipment and unwavering determination worked tirelessly, pulling survivors from the wreckage even days after the quake. But the road to recovery is long and arduous. The physical scars of the earthquake will take years, if not decades, to heal. Entire cities lie in ruins, their infrastructure pulverized. The economic cost is staggering, with billions of dollars needed to rebuild homes, businesses, and lives. The world watched, offering not just condolences, but a commitment to stand with Turkey and Syria in their hour of need. Yet amidst the rubble, seeds of resilience are being sown. Communities once torn apart are coming together, sharing food, shelter, and stories of survival. The human spirit, though battered, refuses to be broken. The earthquake may have shattered their world, but it has also revealed the depth of their strength, their capacity for compassion, and their unwavering determination to rebuild their lives brick by brick. The Turkey-Syria earthquake serves as a stark reminder we live on a planet in constant flux. Earthquakes, like other natural disasters, are not a matter of if, but when. This tragedy underscores the critical need for global preparedness, for investing in resilient infrastructure, and for heeding the warnings of experts like Dr. Ozturk. The triangle of life, a survival technique advocating for seeking refuge next to, not under furniture during an earthquake, gained renewed attention. While not universally endorsed, it highlights the importance of having a plan, of knowing what to do when the ground starts to shake. Similarly, understanding how to signal for help, tapping SOS on pipes, for instance, can mean the difference between life and death. The international community must prioritize earthquake preparedness, particularly in regions prone to seismic activity. This includes not only enforcing stricter building codes, but also educating the public, conducting regular drills, and investing in early warning systems. The cost of preparedness pales in comparison to the devastating human and economic toll of inaction. The Turkey-Syria earthquake is a wake-up call, a stark reminder of our planet's awesome power and the fragility of human existence. It is a call to action, a demand for change. We cannot afford to let the lessons learned be buried under the rubble of indifference. The fight for accountability must continue. Corrupt officials and builders who prioritized profit over human lives must be held responsible. Transparency, accountability, and a renewed commitment